Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to start fast and I'm going to start strong. But before we begin, I would like to announce something that is very important to me. And as you can see, I have a little bit more energy today than usual, and that is because something has changed. Something has dramatically changed in my life. I've been dreaming about this for a very long time, and it's been the dream of my life. I've been coming to this moment for probably 14 years, and I have finally realized my dream, and I am a hooker now. I am officially a hooker. And by that I mean is that I opened a Patreon, and now I want you all to take a look at what I have created and how important this moment is to me and hopefully to you. And the point why I opened this Patreon account is because I'm just going to read the synopsis from my Patreon page. I have realized my dream. I am a hooker now. Help me buy an Audi S5 Sportback 2022, and I don't care about anything else. Just pay attention that this is exclusively for people with money. I don't want people who don't have money or kind of have money to support me, because I feel like broke people should find ways to better spend their hard-earned cash. But so this is exclusive for people with money to support my dream to buy an 2022 Audi S5 in black optics package. This has been my dream. This is why I'm doing this, and this is all that matters to me. I don't care about anything else. If you have money, please give me some money so I can buy an Audi S5. And so I can keep this chaos alive. And thank you for, fueling my insanity. Check out the Patreon page down in somewhere, and go and give me some money. Because why else am I doing this other than trying to buy something dumb and unnecessary as a 2022 Audi S5 Sportback? Probably with red interior. Okay. Sabrina Carpenter, I have made a lot of jokes about her on this show because she's not anything. She's just some sort of something that corporations kind of have on the billboards. And I thought it was all funny and jokes, her songs and her popularity and whatever people's fascination is with her. I thought it was all jokes, but now I have a problem because Sabrina Carpenter is chasing me on Sunset Boulevard. I am a recent on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. I go there. It's a nice place to be. It's a fashionable place to be, and it's close to Beverly Hills, where I can kind of promote and market my services as a hooker, primarily through Patreon. But now I see this Sabrina Carpenter. She is following me because now she's advertising 5 different things on Sunset Boulevard. It is scary. It is invasive. And I think we should start some sort of campaign against that happening. If you want Sabrina Carpenter to be a TikTok girl or creator, I'm not entirely sure what she does. I'm just strongly against it. I'm strongly against whatever Sabrina Carpenter is doing. And if you're wondering why I'm kind of steering to the left upper corner like this, or to the right upper corner for you, is because I'm at the same time as creating this show and working hard for you, I'm kind of glancing at the Uzumaki on anime, because I want to make this show, because this is like the best time of my day is at creating this show. At the same time, I don't want to miss the Uzumaki horror anime, even though it's on streaming service. We're going to tell you to go and check out our Patreon page and give me some money only if you have it, because here we support insanity, and I think that only people who have money should do that. But other than that, we're not going to tell you to do anything else. We're not going to tell you to subscribe to this channel. We're not going to tell you to comment or like. I don't care about that. But most importantly, because that's not my job. That is not my job to tell you what to do, except go support my Audi S5 dream on Patreon. But other than that, I'm not here to tell you what to do. That's not my job. My job here is to entertain. And regardless of how I'm managing that job, even though I think I'm doing pretty good, even though I think I'm doing a pretty good job today and all of the other days, and today I'm feeling slightly more excited because now I think this is going to lead me to buy an Audi S5. And I'm just, this is a decent goal, I think. To not have any money, but to drive an Audi S5, okay? But my job here is to entertain you. And the beautiful thing is, you might think that this is exclusive, and it's not. It is not for any particular person that I want to entertain. I want to entertain you, whoever you are. Whoever you are, you could be a baker, a driver, a technician of some sort. You can be a tech workers. I don't want to entertain tech workers. I just don't want to do that because I don't trust them. I don't trust people who make an excess of $200,000 per year doing nothing. Doing nothing and being not responsible for any kind of, if you're like stealing children and you're like delving in a black market or something like organs market and you make $200,000 a year, I would entertain you because I feel like that's a lot of work and risk you're putting yourself through, and I understand that. But if you're just sitting at the office, attending meetings, drinking matcha, and playing ping pong for $200,000 a year, I do not want to entertain you. I do not want to entertain you. This program, this channel is for the real people. It's for the real people, preferably those who have some money to give me so I can buy the 2022 Audi S5. The black optics package, red interior, premium plus with adaptive cruise control, and sport differential. Do you understand who this is for? On the other note, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe because we're all adults here. We are all adults here, I hope. And if you're not an adult watching this, I'm going to be expecting your parents' consent forms sent to me by the 7 business days after you have seen this. We have tracking technology and I would know exactly what's happening. So you will have 7, if you're under 21 or 18 or whatever adults is in this country anymore, you are expected to send parental consent forms in 7 business days or you'll be blocked from this show. You'll be blocked. Send your letters to the email provided in my channel description. Okay. We got that out. Today, I'm kind of unprepared with material. There's nothing here. There's some just whatever this is. By the way, this is going to be my merch. This is be my merch. This is gonna be my art. This is the art that I'm gonna put on my merch. This is my clothing company that's gonna be featuring some kind of Raven and North mythology, and this is gonna be called Valraven, and you're gonna buy my shirts. Because if you are broke and you cannot support my Patreon, then at least I hope that you will have whatever this is gonna cost on the t-shirt to buy. I'm kidding. I'm always prepared. Like Taiwan. Okay. Today's a big day. Today's a big topic. And it's about EVs. It's about the fucking EVs, and I know that you do not like math. You don't like doing math. And I'm going to do it for you. This is why am I here? I am here to entertain you. I'm here to ask you for money so I can buy an Audi S5 on my Patreon. I'm here to sell you the t-shirt with a stupid Raven and North runes on it. And I'm here to fucking do the math for the EVs, okay? Get fucking ready. Get ready! Put down your whatever you're holding. Get ready for this nonsense to unfold before your eyes. By 2035, the assholes in United States, I'm not sure about the United States, California and European Union have decided that by 2035 we're gonna eliminate ICE cars. We're gonna eliminate the internal combustion engine cars, and we're gonna sell only EVs. And let me tell you how dumb this premise is, okay? I'm just gonna start from the back of the argument. I'm gonna walk you back to why I'm right. Get ready. Put down whatever it is you're doing. Put it down. EVs are more efficient and have less emissions than ICE cars, but only by 20%. That might seem like something, but let me just give you the whole picture to give you an understanding of how stupid this policy is. Get ready. So they're saying, let's say in a perfect world, by 2035, let's say 5 more years, by 2040, we're going to have no ICE cars, which is great. But here's the whole deal. Emissions, the emissions from transport in the world, the whole world of emissions, the transport causes 10% of emissions. All of the transport, not just cars, by fucking airplanes and the sea lions, sea vessels, whatever you call those things, ships. The ships, the whatever you want, is causing 10% of overall world pollution. That already doesn't make sense. But you can still go for this argument. By the way, I'm steelmanning this argument for like the best of the best, and it's still not going to work, and you'll see why. Let's say we're significant. Let's say that's significant. We say we want 10% emission, even though that's not just cars. Let's say it's all cars. Let's say 10% of transportation is all cars, which is not true, and we're going to make it all EV, and we're going to save the planet by reducing the world emission by 10%. Great. But it's not great. It's fucking awful. Because that's world emission and world transport. And the United States and Europe, where these dumb policies are supposed to be activated by 2035, they make only 35% of all emissions. 35% of world emissions are made by these two places where they want to do EVs. And 10% of those. Do you see what I'm saying? Europe and United States are combined contribute to just 35% of emissions. But just by 35% of emissions are by EU and United States. And from that 35%, only 10% is transportation. So if by 2035 they all have decided that now there's gonna be all EVs, there's gonna be a drop of something like 0.7%, like 3.5, 0.7 to 3.5% of world emission is going to be eliminated by all of us driving electric cars by 2035 in the United States and in Europe. Do you see how dumb that is? Do you see how much infrastructure that's going to cost? Do you see how much change and investment in technology we're going to make to just reduce the world emission by 1%? Nobody's going to go to China or India or whatever the people who are making stuff, and they care less about whatever you guys care about. They're not going to stop. So this dumb policy to make all electric cars, which is very ambitious and honorable on the surface, is just going to do nothing but leave people without cars and have range anxiety and not have normal cars but have these computers on wheels. And let me now go deeper and explain why even that's not the case. Why even that's not the case? Because like I said before, EVs are just 20% less efficient. And by the end of this, I'm going to prove to you that if we were to change all of the cars in the United States and Europe to EV cars, there's not going to be no difference. There's going to be no difference to emissions. Zero difference to emissions. And I've brought some math. Normal cars ranging in their energy efficiency from 12 to 30%, okay? Just kind of try to understand that. That's not hard. That's not hard. You put energy in the car, the least efficient gas car takes 12% from that and converts it into energy. And the most efficient, probably like a hybrid, gets 30% of that. Okay? 12 to 30%. ICE cars, energy efficient. Everything else is emission. Good. Now let's see. EVs are actually 80% efficient, which is like almost 3 times that of an average car. EV is 3 times more efficient. But it's still not 100%. So if you put like 100 units of energy into an EV, 80% is converted into actual movement, which is much more efficient. But the caveat is, how fucking stupid do you have to be to not know that 80% of the energy that goes into your fucking EV is still generated from a fucking fossil plant. From a fossil fuel plant, gas, coal, oil, all of that fuels 80% of your EV. And those plants are a little bit more efficient than the ICE car itself. About 40% efficiency. So the ICE car is 12 to 30% efficient. The power plant that powers your EV is 40% efficient. This is what you're doing when you're switching this whole infrastructure, when you're investing billions of dollars into these fucking vanity projects of EVs, but you're not thinking that you're basically powering your EV with an ICE, with a fossil fuel plant. So when you have an ICE car, you basically convert the fuel locally inside your car. When everybody has EVs and they drive these Rivians and Teslas and they think their fart doesn't smell and they're so amazing people and they're so fashionable and up to date, what they're actually doing is they're just outsourcing their power generation from fossil fuels, exactly like I am in my ICE car. They're just outsourcing that to the power plant that's doing exactly the same shit. It burns the fuel, it burns the fossil fuels, creates electricity, and then it just gives you the electricity. Where is environmentalism in that? And I'm not even talking about how EVs are made. the rare materials and the extraction of that is outside of the realm of this topic. But what I'm trying to say is if you're taking your EV, it's 80% energy comes from exact fossil plant as inside your ICE cars. It's a fucking exactly the same thing. But then you also have to go and you have to charge it for fucking 5 years to drive to 7-Eleven to buy wine so you can drink yourself to death. So if normal cars are 12 to 30% efficient, with that conversion from fossil fuel plants that makes 80% most of EVs electricity, at the end, EVs are just 30% efficient, just like the most efficient ICE cars. And we're gonna lose 5 to 10% electricity transition lost. When you make energy inside your car in a regular combustion car, you just transfer it straight into movement. Not efficient, but you're just doing that. When you're doing the same fucking thing in a power plant and you're making electricity and you're giving your EV that electricity, you also have 5 to 10% loss. So according to this calculation, which is correct, EVs are like 25% energy efficient. Because the source of the energy is the same fucking fossil that goes into your normal car. And how dumb do you have to be that you're going to save the planet by tackling? Yeah, let's just switch all the cars from combustion to ICE and the planet is going to be saved. There's going to be green planet and the fucking owls and bisons and armadillos are going to go back and live in our cities. And the trees are going to grow back and we're going to go in a merry joyride on a fucking Ferris wheel. And we're going to take a kayak and we're going to we're going to go along the stream of river, happy and yappy. Because now all of our cars are electric. Even though I've just explained to you how electric cars are exactly as efficient as the most efficient combustion cars. And even if that's going to happen, even if the electric cars were just pure joy, like they did not require energy, it just goes for no reason. Even if that was the case, if you will take all of the cars from the street of United States and Europe, that's going to take away 10% of its emissions, and that 10% of its emissions, 35 of the world emission, is just 35 from the fucking world emission. So you want to take 3.5% of world emissions by eliminating all of the cars from United States and Europe. How does that make fucking sense? How are you going to save the planet by reducing the emissions by 3% in the world? If EV cars were pure, but they're not pure, and if I just explained to you, they are 30% energy efficient, just like ICE cars. And you follow for this shit? You think this is actually good, the electric cars? They're good because you're going to tell your coworkers or whatever the fuck you do that you're a nice person. That's the only fucking reason. And additionally to that, even if let's say that EV cars are magical and they don't require any energy, and let's say that we just eliminate all of the transportation emissions in the United States and Europe, let's say 10% of let's say 4% we eliminate. That's a good, it's not real, but it's good. Like let's cut world emission by 2040 by 5%. It's not real, but let's say it was. But then the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, an organization short for IPCC, said to avoid catastrophic change in the climate change, this government panel said that by 2030, not 2035 to eliminate ICE cars, by 2030, if you're not going to eliminate the world emission, not United States and Europe, the world emission by 50 or 60%, if you're not going to eliminate the world emissions by 2030 by 50 to 60%, they're saying that the catastrophic climate change is inevitable. Which means that this EV cars policy by 2035 is absolutely useless, because what they're saying, what International Government Panel for Climate Change is saying, is we're all dead anyway. Because by 2030, in 5 years, if we're not going to reduce the world emissions by 50 or 60%, we're all dead anyways. So why do we need to change to EVs? Why do I fucking have to see these EVs that bother me? They bother me not because of the cars. I love the cars. They're good cars. They're reliable cars. But because people think they're helping somebody. Who are you helping? You're just being dumb. That's not help. And I have to, all these fucking people, rich people in Malibu or wherever they live, West Hollywood, they're buying these fucking, what is this company called? Rivian. They're buying the Rivian cars thinking they're so awesome, and nobody pays attention to the fact that the fucking Rivian Corporation, they sell you a car for $100K and they lose $250,000 for every car sold. Do you see how twisted? This fucking spectacle is? Do you see how twisted their ideas are? They say they think that the Rivian is an amazing car and this is the future, and it is, except that its price is $400,000 and you're just paying $100,000, which makes you feel good because you're kind of upper status and you buy electric cars. It's not going to do shit for climate change. And the company, which is the seed capital from whatever the fuck they got that money from, probably some pension fund, they're paying $300,000. They subsidizing your Rivian car that you paid $100K for. They're subsidizing it by $300,000. So the car is making them $300,000 loss every car. How is that a good business plan? How is it not just optics? It's maybe good for you because you bought a very expensive car that's worth $400K and somebody else paid for it, probably some grandma in Iowa with her pension fund. And they're thinking they're going to reach profitability. Fuck off. Fuck off with your electric cars. Fuck off with your modern aristocracy. Fuck off that you think that you're somehow better because you care about the planet, because you bought a highly subsidized electric car that is not going to do shit for climate change. Rivian. Another fucking example is Fisker. They created this new car, Fisker electric car. That shit fucking go bankrupt in 1 year. And now you're driving your Fisker to your fucking Thousand Oaks suburb, which is not far from where I live. And you drive that Fisker and you bought it and you were so proud. And you told all of your coworkers at your fucking tech job or accounting or whatever the fuck you do that you now have an electric car and it's actually pretty unique, Fisker. And now it's bankrupt because those technologies are not yet good. And they're highly subsidized by grandmas in Iowa and Pennsylvania and by our government. Good job changing climate. And good job being a great person. Buying a car that you think is so great, one of them is fucking losing $300,000 per car for manufacturing, Rivian, and one of them has said fuck it and they went bankrupt. And keep buying those cars. Keep being cool. Keep being awesome. These fucking Taycans, Porsche Taycan, when they just came out, I called the dealer and they were like, yeah, we can sell your cars like 250 grand. Yeah, it's a good car. 250. Now they're just full in fucking lots. They can't sell these cars because nobody wants this shit. And now you can buy a Taycan that 2 years ago was selling for 250 grand. They can just buy it for probably 60 grand because nobody wants it. They're just going to give it to you. Hey, do you want a Taycan? Do you want a Taycan? You can even charge it for free. We're gonna even give you a pound of tomatoes every time you come in or charge. We're gonna give you a pound of tomatoes and salami and mozzarella, so you can have that Italian dinner with your stupid wife. Just take this Taycan for free. I don't care. Just take it. Lease it for free. This is how stupid the electric cars are. People don't like them. They're impractical. They're only good for people who want to show off the fact that they don't have to wait for some stupid charger to charge that shit. And the fact that other people's money subsidize those cars. It's a vanity project. It's stupid. Even if everybody were to afford these fucking cars, they're not going to change climate because most of the energy comes from fucking coal and gas and oil anyway at the plant. Nobody wants to talk about nuclear energy because that is not good. What is good is just to repackage fossil fuel energy into electric cars that nobody wants because they drive 200 miles. And then you have to wait. You have to go and see what happens at the charging stations with these people who don't have houses to support the charging. They just line up. It's like a Macy's parade at these charging stations at night, where I just want to go at night, go grab some Western bacon from Carl's Jr. because I'm a dumb person who doesn't have any control of their caloric intake. I go at night to Carl's Jr. and I see these dummies acting like it's a soup kitchen. There's like 5 hours wait time for these. There's like 50, 60 cars sometimes. These EQS Mercedes, give me a break. These Hyundai, they're all waiting to charge at 1 a.m. at night. They can't sleep. They're charging these cars because they don't have money to charge it at home. Because they give out these cars to fucking poor people because it's free. Nobody wants these cars anyways. And those who wants these cars, actually, they can pay for it. They can charge it at home. Good for them. Like 5 of us. All the rest of us, they're just giving these cars for free because nobody actually wants to buy them. And these people are forced to wait at the Macy's parade at night, 1 a.m., trying to charge that stupid car so tomorrow they can go to work. That is what your 2035 ICE ban policy is going to do. The technology is not there. Okay? These fucking assholes paid $500 million. They built the biggest solar plant in Nevada, which is basically the best place on planet Earth to produce solar energy. But the maintenance was so high for this facility that the energy that it created was not occupying the existence of this 500 million solar power plant in Nevada. So they just abandon it. They're just using our money, these grandma's pensions and grandpa's pensions. They're just using these fucking their savings, invest in these vanity projects like this solar plant, and they just abandon it because it didn't work. They make this car company, Fisker, that is the future of fucking electricity, and then they just go bankrupt because it didn't work. Who knew? It's just dumb as fuck. If you like electric cars because you think you're part of the solution, you're dumb as fuck. Good night. If you have a Tesla because it's actually cheap and you have ways to charge it free, and you don't think you're some kind of a good person because you're saving the planet, good for you. No knock on you. I appreciate those cars are nice, kind of. If you don't have to drive a lot, if you don't care about charging times, they're nice. If you bought a Rivian for your tech fucking colleagues to show off, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I hope your Fisker that is bankrupt now is going to fall apart in 6 months, and there's going to be nobody who's going to help you fix that because the company doesn't exist. And I hope that after that you go back to something that you deserve much more, which is Toyota Corolla. See ya.